these are the SoundPEATS Capsule3 Pro Plus, a pair of dual driver wireless ANC earbuds that retail for $130, but at the moment on Amazon only cost $72. And these are some of the best sounding earbuds I've heard recently, and I'd recommend buying these based on that alone, except there's one problem that I haven't seen anybody else talk about that I think we need to talk about first. Let's get into it. Before we go any further, we should point out that SoundPEATS have sent me these to review, but they're not paying for or sponsoring this video, so you would, as always, get my honest opinion. First, looking at the design of the case and the earbuds. The case itself has a nice matte black finish to it with some gold bronze accents, which means they don't really pick up any fingerprints. There's a USB-C port underneath and also the Bluetooth pairing button next to it as well, and it's a nice small size too, so it's easily going to fit in your pocket. Now, moving on to the earbuds themselves, and well, these are really easy to get in and out of the case. And the earbuds themselves have a very similar color scheme to the case, so matte black with some gold bronze accents. I do like that. It's probably a little bit flashier than I'm used to, but I certainly appreciate the matte black over glossy black that a lot of other earbuds at the moment seem to be doing. And size-wise, they're very similar in size to other similarly priced earbuds, such as the Soundcore Liberty 4 Pros or the Earfun Air Pro 4s, both of which I've reviewed recently. Fit-wise, these come with 3 different ear tips, small, medium, and large, so you can pick the one that best fits your ears. However, it's not as many as some other in the market. So the Apple AirPods 4, well, they come with 4. The Earfun Air Pro 4s come with 5, and the Soundcore Liberty 4 Pros come with 6. So the medium-sized ones fitted me fine, but I would have liked to have seen a few more options for other people. And weight-wise, these only weigh 5 grams each, so they're super light too. These are some of the most comfortable earbuds that I've worn. They stay in well and they don't fall out. Having said that, if you're going to do some rigorous exercises, then I would probably lean towards some more fitness-focused earbuds. It does depend what you're doing on these as to how much battery life you get out of them. So if you've got ANC off, on, or you were using LDAC, which is the high-res audio codec, you're going to get 6.5, 5, or 4 hours on a single charge. And likewise with the case, you'll get 43, 32, or 26 hours, again, depending upon what you're doing. If you compare that to the recently released Apple AirPods 4 with ANC, well, they give you 4 hours of battery life on a single charge with ANC turned on. So you get better battery life in these than you do with the AirPods 4. When you do need to charge them up, you can charge them up using the USB-C port underneath, using the shortest cable ever, or one of the shortest cables that I've seen that comes with these out of the box. So I'd definitely recommend getting another USB-C cable if you can. There is no wireless charging with this case. You can control these earbuds really easily using either a single, double, triple, or long press. You can also go into the SoundPEATS mobile app, which is now called the Peats Audio app, and in there you can go and configure exactly what each of those controls do, whether it's volume up, down, play, pause, skip track forwards and backwards, turn your assistant on and off, change ANC modes. All of those options in there in the mobile app. Connectivity wise, these earbuds have Bluetooth 5.3, and audio codec wise, they support SBC, AAC, and also the high-res LDAC audio codec as well. These also support multi-point, so you can be connected to multiple devices at the same time, but you can't have multi-point and LDAC on at the same time. These also have a low latency gaming mode, so you can get 70 milliseconds low latency if you want to do some mobile gaming with these. Waterproof wise, these are IPX4 certified, which is fairly typical for these types of earbuds, which means they're fine if you get caught out in the rain or if you're going down the gym. Moving on to the sound, because as I said at the start, these are some of the best sounding earbuds that I've heard. Now these are dual driver earbuds, so inside these are a 12mm dynamic driver, and there's an XMEMS solid state driver as well. So you've got one driver for the low frequencies, another one for the higher frequencies. And that solid state smaller driver really does make a difference. If you don't like how they sound though, then you can go into the Peats Audio app and either change it to one of the 9 different presets, or you can jump into the 10-band graphic EQ and tweak it to exactly your sound preference. Now, I thought out of the box they did sound pretty good, although I did find the treble a little bit high for my liking, so I did tone down a little bit, and then for me, that sounded a lot better. But everyone's listening preference and listening tastes are all their own, so it's good to be able to have that configurability in the app so you can tweak it to exactly how you want it to sound. The bass and the treble on these are super deep and tight. The mids, the instruments, the vocals, they're all very clear and distinctly separated. The treble itself is clear without being harsh. It's got an incredibly wide soundstage as well. These are just a pleasure to listen to. I've actually heard details in songs hearing with these that I didn't even know was there. These just sound great. The dual drivers really work. SoundPEATS have really upped their game in sound quality with these earbuds. Moving on to noise cancelling, there's 3 different modes here. There's ANC, normal and transparency. In ANC mode, it does a good job of cancelling out those lower frequencies and cancels out quite well the background noise of an engine or the sound of falling rain outside, like it's doing at the moment quite heavily. Moving on to normal mode, that just cancels everything out. It's just like listening to your earbuds normally. Transparency mode does a good job of letting you hear your outside surroundings fairly naturally, and people when you're talking to them are nice and clear. There are some things missing though, because the ANC and the transparency modes are just on or off. Like you can't configure them, so you can't set the level of how much noise cancelling or transparency you want to apply to these earbuds. There's also no wind reduction mode either, which is a shame because I live in the Canterbury Plains in New Zealand, and not having that, it's kind of a bummer. But apart from that, it's a pretty solid outing from an ANC perspective for these earbuds, and maybe SoundPEATS can go and add these missing features to these earbuds in a firmware update. Now, moving on to the mic, there are 6 mics in these earbuds, so it should do pretty well. Let's find out. You'll now listen to the mics on the SoundPEATS Capsule3 Pro Plus earbuds, so you can hear what it would sound like if you had to take a call on these in a quiet room. You'll now listen to the mic on the top of the camera with some simulated coffee shop noise playing in the background so that you can hear what the ambient sound of the room is like. You'll now listen to the mics on the SoundPEATS Capsule3 Pro Plus earbuds so you can hear what you would sound like if you had to take a call using the mics in a noisy environment. So what did you think of those two? Did you think they sounded okay in a noisy and a quiet environment? I thought they did a pretty good job of cancelling out the background noise. They do, however, add a fair few digital artifacts as a result of cancelling that out. However, you could still hear my voice above it, so my quality was okay. So now I want to get into the one issue that I was talking about at the start, and it's something I haven't seen anyone else talk about, so it is something that I wanted you to be aware of. So during my testing of these earbuds, I came across one issue that made me completely unable to test these earbuds. So I did reach out to SoundPEATS to try and fix it. Cutting a long story short, it's a known issue and they are working on a fix. The issue is with their mobile app, and really you need that app in order to change anything on these earbuds, whether it's the touch control actions through to the EQ and ANC settings. The problem is that the app needs an internet connection really for any of the functionality in the app to work. And without that connection, no menus load. Like not even the landing screen for the main page of these earbuds loads, you just get a blank screen. Why an app that controls a pair of earbuds needs an internet connection is probably the biggest question that I have. And I have, as I said, spoken to SoundPEATS and they've said they are working on an update to the app, which means it will work without an internet connection. So fingers crossed it gets updated soon, and I'll keep you updated in the comments down below. So overall, do I think you should buy these? Well, I think based on sound quality alone, as long as you can live with some of its shortcomings, then these are just some great sounding earbuds. And at $130 retail price, they're a good buy. And at the $72 price that they are on Amazon at the moment, they're a fantastic buy. So I will leave some purchase links to them in the description down below so that you can go check them out for yourself. If you want to check out some other alternatives to these, then be sure to check out the link up here. Thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and share it. Consider subscribing if you're not. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.